Just because you live in a wonderful environment, you have a wonderful home, and everything is easy for you, and everything's taken care of, it can be the direct result of very strong negative karma. Very negative. Why? It makes you fail. It makes you lose. It makes you not challenge yourself. It makes you not push yourself. It makes you hurt other people. It makes you hurt many people around you. So when we look at Buddhist psychology, we have to look one step deeper. When you don't blame your mother, you don't blame your brothers and sisters, you don't blame your school or your environment anymore, you will be free. Why? They were the environmental cause, the temporary cause, but the real cause is your karma to be born in that situation. When I was very young, my teacher, Geshe Tsurim Gyaltsen, told me to call my mother and tell her I'm sorry. I said, why? I ran away from New Jersey. I was in Los Angeles. He told me to call her up and say I'm sorry. I said, for what? I said, I'm the one that got beaten. I'm the one that was screamed at. I was the one that was slapped and hurt and all the time abused for many years. See, she was diagnosed as a schizophrenic. She had to go on medication. So I got abused quite a lot. She was not well. When she was well, she was very wonderful. So why should I do that? He says, it's because you need to advance in your practice. I'm like, what do you mean? Why should I apologize to my mother? It's not my fault. I didn't yell at him. I just asked him. He says, because you don't look at only the negative things that your mother did. You have to look at the positive. You're here. Someone fed you. Someone gave you a house. You're here in our center. That's your mother's kindness. You call her and you say you're sorry for the things you said to her and the things you thought about her. I said, she's not going to take my call. He says, never mind. You call her. If she doesn't take your call, you try. So at least when you pray, when you do your sadhana, it comes from your heart. It's real. So I did. I called her up. She hung up on me. She said to me, she's disowned me. I will get nothing. I will have nothing. And it's true. Until she died, she never talked to me ever again. Ever. She completely disowned me. It was very painful. When I was in India, starving to death in the monastery with no money at all, I was starving to death in India, in Gandhin Monastery when I got there. When I asked my mother and father for money, $50 a month to sponsor me, they told me no. They said to me, I'm an embarrassment to my family. That's what they told me. And they told me, don't write again. I cried for days in the monastery because I ate flour mixed with water. I was starving to death in Gandhin. But if I come back and go to university, they'll pay for everything. I said, but it's only $50 a month. They wouldn't. They wouldn't sponsor. I starved to death in Gandhin for years. I had a very difficult time in the beginning before I became a Rinpoche. Very difficult. But I didn't give up. Numerous diseases. I couldn't even drink the water. Lots of diarrhea. Years. That went on for years. My house in Gandhin, I got the best what I can get. It leaked 5-6 places, full of mosquitoes. Tashi stayed with me in my room. She saw. It's on the internet. I lived next to the cows. I was separated from one wall. I was in a cow shed for years. I'm not complaining. I'm very happy to be there. I'd rather be in a cow shed there than in America. That's for sure. I don't hate America, but for what I want to do, America doesn't suit my purposes. So what's my point? My point is, he told me call up and say apologize to my mother. I did. Why? I let my guru win because he's my guru. So I did what he said. And I did it from my heart. I called up to my mother and said, I'm sorry. She hung up on me. She told me she disowned me. But I'm glad I did because now she's passed away. And I think to myself, thank God I did that. From my side, I cut the karma off to meet her again in the future to have negative relationship. See, she can meet me again and try to harm me or whatever. But I won't harm her back. The karma with me to her is cut. Because I said I'm sorry and I meant it. And then after I did that, I went to Geshe. I told him. He said, very good. Now make me a cup of tea. Get lost. I didn't get a praise. I didn't get a pat on the back. He didn't say, it was so emotional for me. It was so difficult because I got abused by my mother for years and years. I ran away 3 times. I slept outside. I starved to death. I was beaten. I was held at gunpoint. I ran away. I hitchhiked from New Jersey to New York. From New York, I hitchhiked 3,000 miles across the USA to California. I hitchhiked when I was very young. Slept outside, slept under bridges, slept in plastic bags, begged for food. I had a lot of reasons to be angry with my mother about. A lot. But I realized at that time when I was 17, 18, If I don't apologize to my mother, I will hold on. If I hold on, how can I do my sadhanas and retreats? How can I go to India to be a monk? A monk is supposed to be kind. So I did it. And I had no regrets. I didn't do anything wrong. But when I look deeper, when I listen to the teachings from my guru deeper, I realize that I created the karma to be born there. Now, when I come across this kind of situation, I can handle it very well. And do you know what? Starting from about 2-3 years ago, let me tell you the truth. I believe that I did prayers to be born in that situation. For the first time in my life. My whole life, people ask me, "You're a Rinpoche, why like that?" And I was thinking, yeah, I don't, why? I was thinking to myself, why? I kept thinking for years, why? I realized why. I must have prayed to be in that situation. Because I'm not the best person, but I did grow up wanting to benefit others. I did grow up knowing about mental pain. I did grow up about knowing the scars of war. I did grow up knowing about people who are hurt. I did grow up knowing that we should forgive people like that. I did grow up knowing that they suffer more than I do, that we do. That they deserve our compassion and love, not pity, compassion. That we shouldn't add to their pain anymore. By saying sorry, they have one less enemy from our side. And by saying sorry to my mother, I was accepting my situation. And when you accept your situation, that I had such a sad situation, you transform. When you leave today, if you are my student, then I very strongly urge you to forgive people who have hurt you in the past, real or not, and not ignore people, and not to avoid people. Time is short. Karma is short. Your karma is stronger and more worth it than to hurt people. To forgive. Even if they are wrong, to forgive them. In the future, if they want to hurt you, you don't let them. You don't have to be mean to them, but forgive them. Forgive people who have hurt you. Forgive people who have done damage to you. And say I'm sorry to people who feel you're wrong. Even if you're not wrong, from your heart, don't explain, I am sorry. I never explained to my mother. I never did. Geshe-la told me not to. He said, don't explain. I said, why not? She won't understand. But from your side, you must say, I'm sorry. I said, okay, I did it. Now I understand why. So now for the last few years, I realized that I was born in such a difficult situation due to my prayers from my previous lives. Due to my previous lives. I was born in that situation. And that I have come out with a wish to benefit others. I haven't done everything I want to do, but I'm starting to. Better than a lot of my friends, because I contact some of my friends in childhood, some of my relatives. No disrespect to them at all. They're still in that same situation. Getting married, having kids, stuck, complaining, getting divorced, not happy, fighting. Same thing. You hear the same thing. Sometimes I don't want to call them because all I hear is their complaints. And all they think about is themselves. And they had an easy life. They had great parents, great school. They went to college. They had everything very easy. Everything was given to them. And they turned out like that. Some of them into drugs. So what's my point is, if you're born into a rich family, in a wealthy family, or into an easy life, do not think it's the result of good karma, because that could be leading you to a negative state. Do not think just because you have money, someone gives you things, you have a nice apartment, nice car, don't think you is good karma. Don't think it's your luck. It could be bad luck. Why? You'll be using up all your luck. People who have expensive cars, people have expensive houses, expensive clothes, expensive jewelry, expensive lifestyle, everything beautiful. The amount of karma they use up every single day is tremendous. So the amount of merit they need to make must be tremendous too. Tremendous. How much you use, do you give back? It's very dangerous to have very nice things, big things, luxurious things. Very dangerous. Contrary. That's why you see very wealthy people, not all, very wealthy people, usually depressed, sad, when you open up, disharmony, fighting. When the parents pass away, someone fights away, fight, the family falls apart. Chinese always say, wealth doesn't stay more than 3 generations. Why not? Merit runs out. You create havoc and hell for your relatives and yourself and your children. That's the truth. It matches what Dharma says. A lot of things Chinese believe in matches what Dharma says because it's based on the Dharma theory in China. So my meaning is what? Is you want to have nice things? Generate the merit. Every day, make grand amount of merit. Grand. Not just to have nice things. Nice things is just a side thing. And if you're in a difficult, nasty, ugly situation, you should be very happy. You're purifying your karma. Don't complain. We should all take a vow today to not complain anymore. Not complain about our friends, about situations, about our husband, about a Dharma student, about our wife. We shouldn't complain. Do you know why we shouldn't complain? It doesn't get better if we complain. Number 2, it hurts people. Number 3, you picked it. You had the monster kids. Nobody asked you to have the kids. You got married. You married the monster husband. You married the monster wife. The Hantu marries Pontianak. So why are you complaining? Why Pontianak complain about the Hantu? Why Hantu complain about the Pontianak? Pontianak is a female ghost. Hantu is a ghost. So since the Hantu wants to marry the Pontianak, why the Pontianak complain about the Hantu? Hantu complain about Pontianak. You picked what? Then you have monster kids, you have kids. You pick what? Some people say, oh, you know, I'm so lonely, I don't have kids. You pick what? Maybe I should have a kid. Good luck. Yeah, some people tell me, maybe I should have a child. I was thinking, why don't you stick yourself up your anus and have yourself, and then you can take care of yourself and grow up. Pretty mean, but it's true. Pretty mean. You can give birth to yourself. Go back up your anus and come back out. And go, ow, 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 come out. And then put a diaper on yourself. There you are. Take care of yourself. You're a big baby. Rude but true. A lot of people in this room should never have kids. Never. Never. A lot of these kids. Not that you're bad. You don't need more headaches. The world is getting bigger. We're running out of space. Global warming. We don't need another monster to come out to use up the resources. Thank you. Then if you stop having monsters, don't you think we're going to run out of the human population? Not for a long time. Only in Singapore, you got to give instructions how to have kids. Malaysia, don't need instructions. Cut it down. Of course, if you're mature and you're kind and you're grown up and you act like a grown up, you should have kids. But if you're not a grown up, you're bitchy. You're full of anger. You don't have happiness. Why do you want to do that to new kids? Why? Why?